Sony PlayStation. That's what we're here to talk about today. The PS1 specifically. Even more specific, the classic. PlayStation Classic. It's coming. They've announced 5 games. What about the other 15? Huh? You ever think about that? I have. I've been thinking about the other 15 for like 3 days. And I've made the definitive list of PlayStation Classic games that need to appear on the PlayStation Classic. My name's Azza. And these are the 15 games that need to be on the PlayStation Classic. These aren't going to be the games that everyone's going to say on every other list, okay? These aren't the popular classics. These are the games that everyone needs to play, that they can't play anymore, unless they have the game in the original PlayStation. But a lot of people don't. Now, these aren't in any order of greatness or anything. I'm just going to say them and let you think about it. Or maybe I'll tell you why I put it on the list either way. Number 1. Oh, I think Tony Hawk should be on it. Oh, let's put Tony Hawk. Oh, I love Tony Hawk because he's the best skateboarder and his games are the best as well. You're wrong. You know what's the best fucking skateboarding game? Grind Session. So if you're going to put a skateboarding game on this thing, it better be fucking Grind Session. Sony, you hear me? Number 2. Akuji the Heartless. That's right, I said it. He has no heart. And it has voodoo and shit in it. And he goes around and he's like, wah, wah, wah. Heartless. Just like it'd be to not put that game on the PlayStation Classic. Number 3. Now, of course, there has to be platformers. It was a great time for 3D platformers. If you're going to put a platformer, though, you know what it needs to be? Croc. That's right. Oh, but what about Crash Bandicoot? What about Spyro? You know what about fucking Crash Bandicoot and Spyro? They've got remasters. You know who doesn't have a remaster? Croc. And none of that fucking Croc 2 bullshit either. Did you know Croc was the beginning of Mario 64? The developers went to Nintendo and was like, yo, we got this idea for a Mario game and it's 3D and you run around and shit. Nintendo was like, we don't like that, we're going to do our own. So then those developers went and they made Croc. And Croc is fucking good. Bit of Croc and the Godzilla 98 soundtrack. Now you're living life, buddy. What about driving games, huh? You need driving games? Which leads us to number 4. Carmageddon, that's what you're getting. Carmageddon. Oh, yeah. Carmageddon, PS1. Don't give us any of that fucking green blood bullshit either. We want to run over people, not shitty zombies. Yeah, Carmageddon.
Or Azza, I think you need to have some sort of survival horror game. How about a Resident Evil?
How about fucking Dino Crisis? How's that sound at number 5? And I don't give a shit which Dino Crisis you put. Can be the first one, that's great. Can be the second one, also great. They're great in their own different ways. But they're still both fucking great. Do it. Dino Crisis. Call up Capcom, be like, yo, you know how you've never done a thing with Dino Crisis since that shitty 3rd game on the Xbox? Well, how about you just let us put it on the classic PlayStation? They'll definitely give it to you then. Now, if you look at the PlayStation Classic, you will see that it has USB ports for the controllers. And you know what USB ports can do? Fucking anything they want. So here's my proposal to you, Sony. You bring out an emerald green clear DualShock as an add-on. And inside the controller, you put Ape Escape. And then when people plug the fucking thing, the USB into the PlayStation Classic, they can play Ape Escape with the DualShock. That's an idea you can have for free. I'll give that to you. So that you can give me an emerald green controller with Ape Escape. You know you can do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Now you've got to have racing games. You've got to have, maybe realistic racing game, maybe not realistic racing game, doesn't really matter. So that's why I'm giving you the option, Sony. I'm giving you the option right now. You can have Colin McRae Rally 2.0, or you can have Gran Turismo 2. Now, this comes with a caveat. A covio. However the fuck you say it. You would have to build in, right, stay with me, some sort of smelling device in the controller that would spray the smell of burning rubber right in your face. I don't have my scratch and sniff disc here right now, okay, for Gran Turismo 2. But if you did that, that would bring back memories, so much nostalgia, okay? You need to do it. Do it. You know you want to. Smell technology exists. Now let's move on to number 9. This is a classic as well. This is a classic game, a driving game. Driver. It's right there in the name. You drive because you're a driver. Not since Driver San Francisco have we seen a driver game. You need to call up Ubisoft and be like, we need to put this driver game that we've heard about that was on our first console. We need to put that on this console, this classic one, because that game, that first driver game, classic. And if they say to you, oh, how about Driver 2? You tell them to get fucked. It has to be the first one.
Oh, but, a Driver 2, you could get out of the car.
Well, as the president of Sony, I don't give a fuck. That's what you gotta do. A friend of mine was like, you should play this Metal Gear. I hear Metal Gear is really good. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't give a shit about Metal Gear. You know what I give a fuck about? Siphon Filter 2. The first Siphon Filter is like, whatever. It's a good game. It's fine. You know what's better? Siphon Filter 2. You know why? Because 2 discs. Don't tell me disc-changing technology doesn't exist, Sony. You did it before. You can do it again. Number 10. You gotta have a sports game, don't you? You gotta have sports. You can't have a classic console and not have a sports game on it. That'd be silly. So that's why you need to have Everybody's Golf. Because it's for everybody. How can you have a game called Everybody's Golf and not give it to everybody? Everyone who has your console needs to play Everybody's Golf. It's a classic. It's so much fun. It's golf, but it's good. And it's for everybody. All right. Last 5. These are the deep cuts. These are games that probably not going to be on there. But they need to be on there, Sony. Do you listen to me with your ears? With your ear holes? Use them. Listen to me. I'm the professional here. I'm the professional PlayStationer. I know what's best for PlayStation. So this is what you need to do. Number 11 is Incredible Crisis.
Isn't that weird Japanese game with all the button mashing?
You're damn fucking straight it is. Now here's the thing. They've said in interviews the last few days that each region will have different games. I know Incredible Crisis is very Japanese, okay? I get that. But you need to have Incredible Crisis on every PS1 classic. Because it is a classic. Say it with me. Classic. How can you have a classic not be on your classic? You can't. It's impossible. Crisis! I know it's called Incredible Crisis, but you get it. That leads us to number 12, doesn't it? Let me tell you a little story. MDK, that's the story. MDK should the next game be.
What the fuck is MDK?
This is MDK, right here. Look at that shit. Don't tell me you don't want to fucking play it. No, it's not the best version. Probably the worst version. But if you're gonna fucking play a game, it's gotta be MDK. Now this one's a real long shot. I mean, the squirting controller for the rubber smell, easy. This is a long shot, though. You need to release another one of those add-ons like the Emerald Green controller, right? And this controller is very special. It has 2 games built in. One of those games is Point Blank. The other game is Time Crisis. And that controller is an exact replica of the G-Con. Don't give me any of that fucking shit about how LCD TVs don't work like CRT TVs, so you can't do that anymore. The Wii did it. They found a way around it, using controllers as guns and shit. You can bring out a G-Con that does the same thing as what that Wii stuff did.
You have the technology. Do it.
We have 3 games left. 3 games left. I have 2 words for you. And those 2 words are 1 word. But they're 2 words usually. And those 2 words are Pepsi Man. You are a man. And you are fueled by Pepsi. And you fight crime and shit. Because you are a superhero run off Pepsi. It sells itself. I'm telling you, Sony, if you put Pepsi Man on your PlayStation Classic, everyone will buy a PlayStation Classic just so they can play Pepsi Man. You need to put Pepsi Man. Please. Okay, second last one. Soul Blade. I said it.
But we have taken 3 already.
You don't fucking have Soul Blade? Do ya? Or do you? We won't know till you announce the games, but the 14th game better be Soul Blade. I'm telling you, if I can't turn the controller and look up Sofatia's skirt, I'll be very angry. Here we are. The final game. It's all come down to this. What is the most classic game that needs to be on the PlayStation Classic? And I think you know what I'm going to say. Simpsons Wrestling. Do it. You can do it. You got the technology. Do it. Hey, it's Aaron here. Hi. Just this is for Sony. I've got a list here of a few games that I would like. Like his list is kind of bad. It's bad. It's a pretty bad list, especially for Simpsons Wrestling. I don't understand that. But so I have a list, and I would really like if you could. It's just a few games. If you could put Chase the Express. That game's pretty cool. It's all set on a train. It's each level's like a different carriage of the train. It's kind of neat. So if you could put that, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. That's kind of a necessary game to put on here because that, especially with the 2 controllers, you know, the multiplayer in that game was a big thing. It's really good. So if you could get that to happen, that'd be great. Also, Nintendo just announced all these games from Square, like Final Fantasy games for the Switch, and Final Fantasy 8 was like the only one that was left out, and it was really weird. So if you could put, you can leave 7 there if you want, but if you could also add Final Fantasy 8 to the PlayStation Classic, that would be really, really good. Thank you very much. All right, I guess the video's over. He's gone. So thanks, guys.